So let's look at some of the matchups that we have our eye on that will show us how the rest of the fantasy world's going to react. What are you looking for, Cynthia?
I'm looking at the Jets and the Niners. It's obviously two teams with huge hopes, but Trent Williams has not yet reported. That is a massive left tackle missing situation.
Literally.
So be careful with all of your Niners offensive weapons because this Jets defense is very, very good. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I also was watching the preseason game and I'm not loving Brock Purdy's sliding. And I say it with question mark because it didn't look like a slide. So just be aware of that as we go forward. And then the second one, I'm not going to do it in Spanish because I am not fully bilingual. But I definitely think the Packers wide receivers versus the Eagles is going to be something to watch. We don't know who the #1 wide receiver is. Who cares? Doesn't matter. This is still a defense that's figuring some things out. They allowed the most fantasy points per game to the wide receiver position in 2023. And they've got some young players and also some hurt ones. We haven't seen Cooper DeJean play yet, so that's not going to be a good situation for them. So I think we're going to like Jordan Love's output on Friday night.
Yes, we're gonna figure it out. All the folks down there, looking in the wide. It's like I don't know how to say it in Portuguese either, but
Spanish and Portuguese.
They're all good. They're all very good. We're gonna figure it out. And I also love to see the change because change lets us know how things are going to go. Of course, we get the Arthur Smith revenge game. That's fun to look forward to. But how is he going to deploy Najee Harris? I know Jaylen Warren says he's aiming a week 1 return, says he's going to be fine. But we're going to get a little insight into how Arthur Smith is going to use this. We saw Cordell Patterson get a preseason touchdown as well over the weekend. We get to find out what Najee's usage is going to be. And then on the other side, we're all in on Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts has had bad targets for most of his career. Not just him, but as well as Drake London. What will the Falcons' passing offense look like? It's going to dictate so much of how we view all of these players in this game, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and one of the things that you got to look forward to as well is the defenses. A lot of us might have punted on a defense in the draft. Well, now you got to go and try to look at some of the matchups. I'm going to go for the Bears defense, not surprisingly, but one of the things that I look for, especially early on, is one of the top defenses in the NFL going up against a young quarterback playing with a new coordinator. We saw Matt Eberflus really dialing up the blitzes in preseason, trying to show some looks, already kind of setting a tone. And the Bears gave up the fewest points in the NFC in preseason. Actually, Jacksonville was #1. But I like the Bears in this matchup, and I also like the Browns. I like their matchup, too. They had one of the best defenses last year. And this Cowboys team, dealt without CeeDee Lamb. We don't know how effective he is going to be in the first game of the season, going up, missing all that time and getting back to football stuff. So for me, I look at the Browns, and, I think the Cowboys don't play well against good teams. The Browns are a good team, and that defense is going to feast in week 1, so I'm going to go with them.